curious to find out what your predictions are. So we have healthcare, skilled trade, sales, information technology, or all of the above. Okay, perfect. For questions, we have one here, which I think I'll answer quickly. How can I increase my chances of traveling abroad in the field of medicine? And what about business? Now, I have a couple of friends who are in med school at the moment, and as far as I know, one of the best ways to travel and be a doctor is the Doctors Without Borders organization. It's a great organization that allows you to practice your medical profession across the world. So I know that's definitely a great place. This student is actually in their last year of high school, and they had a follow-on question saying that they're planning to apply to graduate school after university, so I'm assuming it's med school. And the grad school only requires 3 years of their undergrad, so they're wondering if they should finish their degree in full before applying for grad school if they're not 100% certain of their career choice. Now my sort of short answer to this question is sometimes you study a subject in high school, and when you approach it in university, it's a completely different thing. You go into it with a lot more rigor. You go into it with a lot more detail. I remember studying economics in high school, and it was a completely different beast when I tackled it in university. So oftentimes when you get to university, it's good to consider your options. I know you may be thinking right now that grad school is your plan, but you never know once you start studying at university.
I might just add that this goes back to what Ian said a while ago about the gap, taking time off school. Apply. So if I'm in my second year of university and I'm going to think I want to go into med school or physiotherapy or something, dentistry or whatever, I can apply, and if I don't get in, then I finish my degree and apply the next year. There's no penalty for the amount of time that you apply.
Right.
But chances are most people finish because the third year of university in this case, you will take a lot more biology and chemistry that is specific to human studies. And probably you'd be better prepared for taking medicine, and you'd probably do better when you got there. So chances are you probably would finish your undergraduate degree.
I have a friend that went off to med school, and she only did 3 years, but her plan was, as Roger mentioned, if she didn't get into med school, that she would stay for an additional year and then reapply again. So definitely that option is out there for you. And maybe after that extra year, if you decide you don't want to do med school for whatever reason, but do more academic, like a more academic degree at the graduate level, you will need an honors degree in order to apply. So for a graduate program, so that might be something to consider as well.
One specific to this particular request, if you decide you'd like to apply overseas, like England, you have to start at least a year in advance. It's a great amount of paperwork and interviews and research. You have to start very early.
Yeah, just to add on to sort of what you said, especially in the field of medicine, there is that standardized testing component, and really it's analyzed year to year. So you may do your MCAT and you may get a certain percentage or score that may level off differently in your third year versus your fourth year, depending on who's playing in the game that year, right? So I think, again, prepare ahead, do all the paperwork, do all the testing, maybe in your second year, and if you want to try in your third year and see how that goes, and if there's an opportunity, then really decide for yourself if you think you're ready. If not, then try again in your fourth year and see how that goes. But every year is a different level of competition.
So I have a friend who's just finished her pre-med, and she's doing a master's before going off to med school. And one of the main things for her is her passions in life are medicine and art. So she actually ended up doing the fourth year so she could do an arts degree with the pre-med as well. So for her, that was her way of at least being able to study art, but then pursue her career choice of being in medicine. So it's often nice if you decide to do a 4-year degree in something, but still have those pre-med courses to be able to say, actually, I finished with this degree. And for my friend, her plan is that once she decides to leave the medical profession at whatever age, maybe she can go back and become an art professor and an art teacher, and she has that full degree to sort of go back to if she were to apply for another job. But I think we're going to close up the poll. And we're just going to share our results. Yep, so it looks like it's pretty close. 45% of you believe healthcare is the career of the future, and then 35% information technology. It's interesting because in yesterday's presentation it was a large percentage believed that information technology was the career of the future. Don't really have an answer to this, but these all these choices, all these careers are in the top 10 careers for 2012. Now, just because they are popular careers right now this year doesn't mean they will be popular about 4 or 5 years from now after you graduate. So the important thing to also consider is what the future will be like when you graduate. Will job opportunities be available?